Hello there, you're tuned in to 7Edition. I'm Aanont Wathanasin, and these are your headlines this evening. Police to make a joint statement with AGC on analysis of video implicating minister. MACC to announce individuals and entities that will be prosecuted over 1MDB scandal. And so we begin this evening with this story. Police confirmed today that the foreign forensic analysis into a sex video implicating Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali has been done. Bukit Aman CID Director Datuk Huzair Mohamad said the police and the Attorney General's chambers, the AGC, will be making a joint statement soon on the matter.
Pihak AG pun akan membuat kenyataan media bersama-sama PDRM dalam masa terdekat. Right? Apa yang dinyatakan oleh beberapa media yang menyatakan bahawa kita akan buat announcement. Tidak begitu. Apa yang saya nyatakan dulu, kita akan mendapat laporan analisa daripada pakar luar negara before end of the year.
Dato' Huzair said investigators from the Special Investigation Unit met AGC officers today to discuss the sex video, along with two other high-profile cases. He added that the two other cases were those involving PKR President Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's alleged sexual misconduct and the statutory declaration by former policeman Azila Hadri over the murder of Mongolian Altantuya Sharibu. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, will soon announce the names of individuals and entities facing prosecution after failing to return the money believed to have been received from One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB. MACC Chief Commissioner Latifah Koya said they will be charged under the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act. However, she did not reveal how many of them will be charged.
Kita akan umumkan apabila kita akan ambil tindakan susulan kepada kes-kes yang kita keluarkan compound hari ini. Kita akan we will inform you.
Berapa ramai?
Saya akan bagi tahu.
Latifah was speaking at a media conference for the launch of the musical Semara Pertiwiku at Istana Budaya today. The MACC had previously issued compound notices in a bid to recover 1MDB-related money in October last year. Recipients of the 80 notices issued include several prominent politicians. Meanwhile, breaking his silence, fugitive businessman Low Teck Jho, better known as Jho Low, said he is not returning to face justice because he was not the mastermind behind the scandal, but only acted as an intermediary for deals involving 1MDB. In an interview with Singapore Straits Times, Low, however, said he would return to Malaysia to face charges related to the 1MDB scandal if there is a conducive political climate for him to feel safe and to vigorously defend himself. In the interview conducted over email, Low said there is nothing unusual to act as intermediaries. Low said his connections, which he described as professional, had helped Malaysia build strong ties with key allies, particularly Saudi Arabia, boosting Hajj pilgrimage quotas for Malaysian Muslims and investments in financial, real estate and other sectors in the Southeast Asian country. Low declined to divulge his current location but confirmed he was offered asylum in August last year but did not name the country offering asylum. The Kuala Lumpur High Court in the SRC International trial today dismissed an application by the prosecution to impeach Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib Razak. The application was made on grounds that the former Prime Minister allegedly gave conflicting statements to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, the MACC, and testimonies during the course of his corruption trial. Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali ruled that there were no material contradictions given by Datuk Seri Najib after inspecting the witness statements in question, rejecting the need for impeachment proceedings. The court then ordered the prosecution to continue its cross-examination of Datuk Seri Najib, who is currently on trial for siphoning 42 million ringgit from the former 1MDB subsidiary and is testifying in his own defence. Earlier in the day, ad hoc prosecutor Datuk V. Sintambaram applied to challenge the credibility of Datuk Seri Najib's testimonies provided to the MACC and the latter's own testimonies given to court on the witness stand in regard to whether the former Prime Minister had seen certain documents and signed them. Datuk Seri Najib has been called to enter his defence to answer 7 charges related to SRC International. In Johor, police busted a Macau scam syndicate believed to have been active for the past month during a raid at a house in Iskandar Puteri on Friday. 7 Chinese nationals were arrested in the operation. The raid followed intelligence gathered by police and was carried out by a team from the Johor and Iskandar Puteri Commercial Crime Investigation Department. Police also seized 8 laptop computers, 8 handphones and 4 routers in the 3:50 p.m. operation. Initial probe showed that the suspects, aged between 20 and 30, did not have valid travel documents. Iskandar Puteri Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Zulkhairi Mukhtar said all the suspects have been remanded until January 17th. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code and the Immigration Act. Meanwhile, over in Pahang, a toddler was severely injured in an attack by a stray monkey at a row of food stalls along Jalan Muazzam Shah near Rompin on December 2nd. Pahang Wildlife and National Parks Department Director Rosaidan Mat Yassin said that they have set a trap to capture the monkey before releasing it at another location. The young victim was identified as 3-year-old Said Nur Akif Rizki Said Ahmad. He suffered deep lacerations to his legs, back and head from the monkey's sharp teeth and claws and was taken to the Sagamat Hospital for treatment. The 3:30 p.m. incident was witnessed by a food stall operator who had lodged a police report over the incident. Now, it's understood that the animal frequently roamed the area. The Transport Ministry will conduct periodic spot checks on motorcycle ride-hailing services until it has enough data to form a regulatory framework to govern the industry. Its Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fok said it was up to the Land Public Transport Agency, APAD, to ensure that the companies providing these services adhere to the highest safety regulations. He said this after taking a DGO ride from Kuala Lumpur to the Pasar Seni LRT station.
We let the market to decide. I think as if there are demands, then there will be supply. I mean, if there are more supply, then we see whether there will be people picking up. I mean, eventually, it's the market will decide the survival of those companies. So we are not limiting to any numbers of service provider. If we allow this proof of concept for this pilot project to run for 6 months, any players can come in. So it's up to them to provide their services to the market and up to the market to react to them.
The start of the 6-month trial period for motorcycle ride-hailing services in Kuala Lumpur began on January 3rd. Only one company, DGO Ride, has started providing a full motorcycle ride-hailing service. It has about 700 riders available with another 4,000 applicants pending. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today urged his ministers and civil servants to set aside any lingering differences and work together to realise the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030, SPV 2030, for the country. The Prime Minister said the new blueprint for the country's progress depends on the cooperation of all. Tun Dr. Mahathir said this in his first speech of the year to the staff of the Prime Minister's department in Putrajaya.
Rancangan-rancangan sudah diadakan, pendekatan juga sudah dicipta, dan saya cuma berharap semua pihak akan tumpukan kepada negara, bukan kepada diri sendiri, tetapi kepada negara. Ya, memang kita bekerja untuk mendapat pendapatan tertentu, tetapi itu adalah hanya sebahagian saja daripada tanggungjawab kita. Yang lebih utama ialah kejayaan kerja kita, bukan saja memenuhi masa, tetapi memenuhi masa dengan kerja-kerja yang akan menyumbang kepada pembangunan negara.
The Premier said the SPV 2030 does not only aim to make Malaysia a high-income nation by the year 2030, but to ensure an equal distribution of wealth across all states and among all races. He also reminded civil servants not to engage in corrupt practices and that they should uphold good values. Now, while external headwinds and uncertainties remain, Alliance DBS research sees Malaysia's 2020 growth to be supported by domestic demand, private expenditure, and the manufacturing and services sectors. The research house today, via its note, said it expects a 4.5% GDP growth this year, down slightly from the 4.6% estimated for 2019. Alliance DBS also believes that the government's fiscal reforms in Budget 2020, especially the targeted fuel subsidy and short-term boost from the revival of mega projects, could help generate economic activity and strengthen Malaysia's private consumption and investment. Now, these projects include the East Coast Rail Link, the Penang Transport Master Plan, and Pan-Borneo Highway. The research house also expects the government to remain on target in reducing the country's fiscal deficit to 3.2% of GDP in 2020. The FBM KLCI futures contract on Bursa Malaysia derivatives ended lower today in tandem with the underlying cash market. At the closing bell, the benchmark FBM KLCI declined 13.62 points to 1,597.76. It's now on to stocks to watch. A sustainable dividend payout for Taliworks Corporation may result in yields of 6.9% for final year 2020 and 2021. Now, the stock reports a stable earnings profile and potential upside to an estimated dividend yield of 6.1% for final year 2019 and 6.9% for both 2020 and 2021. Next and last on the list, Home Rates Corporation reports healthy net cash per share of 28.9 cent and increased automation efforts. The better-than-expected earnings was due to higher-than-expected sales volumes, recent share price retracement, and earnings upgrade. Now, more to come on 7Edition. A drunk driver plows into a motorcycle and drags it for a good 1 kilometer. Don't go away. Now we move on to clickbait for what's trending and making the rounds in the cyber world today. Now, passers-by in Georgetown, Penang had a rude shock when they spotted a Proton Preve casually dragging a motorcycle underneath the front bumper with absolutely no signs of stopping. Now, videos of the unlucky mishap went viral on social media, with one showing at least an attempt to chase after the driver. Why don't you have a look? It was believed that the white Preve had crashed into a parked motorcycle outside a Nasi Kandar shop in Jalan Gurdwara. Without the slightest regard, the vehicle then dragged the machine as it got back onto the road, as a smartphone camera recorded the incident. Despite numerous efforts to get the driver's attention to stop, he continued driving at a steady speed without realizing what was happening. The motorcycle was dragged for a good kilometer before the car finally stopped at the traffic light junction in Jalan Sungai Pinang after the driver was hailed down by other riders. Police who confirmed the incident said the case is being classified as driving under the influence of alcohol after the 53-year-old driver went through tests at the Penang hospital. Police say the man would be arrested soon. And now, updated as of 7 p.m., here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today.